Und auf zum nächsten Part. Ja, momentan kommen die Parts ein bisschen in Häufe, aber naja, besser als gar nichts. Im letzten Part hat ja Ace beschlossen, dass er derjenige ist, der zurückbleiben will, laut Lotus-Strategie. Und er hat gesagt, die einzige Bedingung für sein Handeln ist, dass ihn jemand später abholt bzw. rettet, wenn die anderen gekommen sind. Also dass jemand Hilfe holt und dass er dementsprechend dann halt mit Hilfe entkommt. Finally, Jumpy could hold his tongue no longer. We've only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you? Then perhaps you should prefer to stay instead of me? Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind? Ace's voice was deep knife, and without a hint or cruel or malice. Jumpy had no rebuttal. You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourself about me. Go quickly. Ich werde gerade das Gefühl nicht los, dass Ace was zu verheimlichen hat. Jumpy's dudes frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bites her lip to her that Jumpy feared she would break the skin. Jumpy stood against the wall and comment above. Quatsch. Santa stood against a wall, calm and aloft. Seven tore his beanie from his head and turned it over and actually in his hands. Alter, was bin ich heute dämlich im Lesen? Seven, natürlich nicht June. Oh Gott, ich hab's heute. Clever started at Ace with an expression Jumpy was unable to decipher. Lucha's attitude, however, was different from the others. Good. Let's accept this kind of offer then. Irgendwie werde ich gerade den Verdacht nicht los, dass die beiden irgendwas aushecken. She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile on his own. Good, I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. Perhaps it's my age, but I get tired to eat these days. As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of them beds. From somewhere deep in his ship, Jumpy suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until the time limit was up? Already Deck D was floated. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the set metal wall of the ship. Unsuspectingly, it was Lotus who spoke first. Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up too? As if a spell that had broken, the other all began to talk at once. You are right. We should get going. That's all we can do for now. 7. Seriously, honestly, it was getting kinda sick of listening to you guys. You too, Santa? I have to find my brother. Well, wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about that. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something. Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way. His words sounded hollow and fake. Fine. Forget about it. I figured I'm on. Ich war doch auch irgendwie der Meinung, dass man einen anderen Weg finden müsste, sonst ist die Sommer auf uns. He had slumped down to the next bed when June grabbed his arm and pulled. Come on, Ace, please stand up. You can't give it up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. Figure out a way that we can get out of here. Then it happened. Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor. His body felt on a hive like a boxer could out. Ace! Jumpy cried out and dropped to her knees. June cried out. Oh, ich hab's heute. Her knees beside him. She put an arm around his neck and did her best to lift him. What happened, Ace? Say something! She shocked him friendly. His eyes floated open. I'm alright. His voice was weak and slightly slurred. How are you? Fine? This. He held up his arm, slowly opened his hands. It was a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It only had recently been emptied, a few drops glowing at the sides. There was a label tapped on the side of the container. It read Soporibita? Soporibita? Jumpy had no idea what it meant or what kind of medicine it might be. Did you use this? Yes, it's just antiseptic. It'll be fine. Antiseptic? I found it earlier while we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think it'd be using it on myself. Why did you do this? Didn't I tell you? It's like to take a nap. I really am very tired. Jumpy knew that wasn't why he done it. Ace had injected with antiseptic to foreign-style Jumpy in June's attempt to bring him along. If we couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He had injected himself so that they would be forced to leave him behind. Ace. Huh? Is there something you want to say? It's just like a sleep, a little. Could you keep it down? No! Don't, Ace, don't fall asleep! Huh, you feel warm. So comfortable. I think I have a nice dream. Ace's eyelid dropped further and further, almost as thought he were dying. Ace! She shook his head again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of the chest told him he was alive. Jumpy was relieved to see he was in fact still breathing. He lifted Ace up on the floor and laid him on the bed head he leaned against. When Jumpy turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity. Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't left his sacrifice to go to waste, right? She wasn't feeling any remorse. Jumpy was sure of that. Still, he had no guts upon which to oppose her. It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly Santa spoke. Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we? Huh? What do you mean? Well, we haven't decided who's going on what door. Ah, yes, that's true. Well, enough of this screaming around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door would you want? I want door number 8. It's the same number as my birthday number. Got it. You are 8. You are next, 7. Which one do you want? I'll take 7. I can't get along with that older lady. What? 7 ist mir sympathisch. What did you say? Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took 2 steps forward. 7. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hand in a cookie jar. You are going to get it next time. She shot him a glare that would have melted steel that turned and stalked off. Alright, who's next? Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally stepped to Jumpy. Jumpy, which door would you want? At least, Jumpy's mind was already made up. Ich würde fast sagen Tür 7. Aber, Die Zahl 3 mag ich nicht, die Zahl 8 mag ich eigentlich auch nicht. Stimmt, Tür 7. Die einzige Zahl, die ich einigermaßen toll finde. I think I'm gonna do with door 7. Okay, 7 it is, yeah. Alright, then that means June's gotta go through 8. What? Why? What? Santa, Grimaced and Modern... Oh nö! Ich hatte jetzt geben, um wieder in... Da, okay, scheiß drauf. If the 6 of us are going, keep going without leaving anyone behind, there's only 3 ways we can go. Plan A goes through door 7 with 3, 5, 8 and goes through door 8 with 4, 6, 7. Plan B goes through door 7 with 4, 5, 7 and goes through 8 with 3, 6, 8. Plan C goes through 7 with 3, 6, 7, goes through 8 with 4, 5, 8. And that's it. Those are only options. In other words, 3, 4, 7, 8 can never go through the same door. You get it now? As Santa finished, June looked over and Jumpy, tears welling up at the corner of her eyes. Oh no, you and me aren't going to see each other again for a long time. June felt just as Jumpy did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever tried, and they were preparing the fate, but he knew if they were to survive, he had swallowed his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but He swallowed, sneered his resolve, and did best to smile. Come on, you're making it sound like we are never gonna see each other again. We're gonna split up only for a while. This is just like we went into 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then, but we all met back up. I bet 7 and 8 are just like that. You mean they connected somewhere? Yes, probably. Probably? She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected. I'm sure they're gonna connect it somewhere. Why? Why make you think so? If they don't connect, neither team can go through it on 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of the shit so far. I don't think he'd blown up it now. I mean, damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9th door. You'd say nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Jumpy. He met them, and with that reason, he could manage laid his hand gently on her shoulder. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise. June bit her lip and gave him an almost incorruptible nod. Yes, promise? Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment. You guys are done, right? He stretched and continued. Anyway, that's pretty much of it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figured I'd take 8 and Clover can take 7. Any problems with that, Clover? Clover looked away and she was silent for a moment. Whatever. It was more of a dismay still than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care. Alright, we're ready to go then. Let's move. As Santa commanded, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Clover, 7 and Jumpy walked through them. Santa, Lotus and June headed for the door 8. For a long moment they stood in front of the door. 7 took a deep breath. You guys ready? Yeah. Yes. Okay, let's go. Oh Mann, auf zur nächsten Tür. The door had opened. A narrow hallway stretched out before them. Und wie es nebenbei weitergeht, sehen wir dann im nächsten Part, würde ich mal sagen. Bis zum nächsten Mal, euer Kitsune Snow. Bye bye.